Hi, Bright Lights. Welcome and thank you for being here. My name is Tina, and in today's video, I would like to talk about the concept of angels and demons. Now, I have done some videos where I've kind of gone into some detail about demons. I have also bought an occult tarot deck, so I have been also going into more detail with that. So I thought it would be a good time for me to just jump on and give you some context to what my guides have channeled to me about angels and demons. So I would like to start off with the basic definition of an angel. An angel is a spiritual being believed to act as an attendant agent or messenger of God. And the basic definition of a demon is an evil spirit, especially one thought to possess a person. So we have these two extremes, the good and the evil. From my experience, both of these definitions were birthed out of the theology of religion, the concept of God versus demon, devil, or Satan. I was raised Catholic, so I can find many pictures depicting what this may look like in some form or another, according to the religious programming. Such as pictures of the beautiful angels with wings and demons that are very ugly, distorted figures. But first, let's talk about who we are. And I'm going to explain this as best I can, so please bear with me. We are born from the universe. The universe may mean God, the Great Spirit, all that is. Universe, uni, meaning one, and verse, meaning arrangement, or one arrangement, or one consciousness, right, of light and love. So, how do we as one unity become separate beings? The unity needed a force to bend apart and divide itself in order to create something different. Enter gravity. The force of gravity is what bends the universe, and this bending is what created the separation, that which divides. In order for us to become separate from the universe, we needed the bending of the universe to the diverse, di meaning two, which the split, diverseness, the splitting in itself creates a polarity of positive and negative aspects or energies. And it's this magnetism or polarity between the two that eventually will find a way to pull everything back together to become one again. Well, that was the message I received. So, but don't put your lab coats away. I'm not quite done yet. So, if you think the universe from this more scientific perspective, the universe containing atoms, which create matter, and atoms are made of molecules, which takes two molecules to make an atom, the more splitting or separateness that occurs, the more solid something becomes. The more solid something is, then the light can't penetrate it. So, that is how shadows are developed. And shadows are scary, which reminds me of a story when I was out walking my dog one night. It was a moonlit night, and I always love to go out because it's so bright out. And I remember that my dog had caught something caught her attention, and I turned really quickly and I saw my shadow moved and it scared me. And I had to laugh because, my shadow literally, I mean, my heart was pounding. It was a really scary thing. But it's these shadowy creatures that have evolved, and they are meant to divide the light in order for us to diversify. And this is what demons actually are. The demons are shadow energy, and they are actually the designers of this reality. We wouldn't have the opportunity to experience love for others being separate without the negative polarity of the shadow energy. It's also about us spiritual beings remembering, even though there are all these divisions, you are one and you will always be one. It is through the division and shadow energy that is meant to cause you to split yourself in order to see something you wouldn't see. You basically need to split yourself in half to say, yikes, I didn't realize I had that within me. If you've ever listened to Esther Hicks channel Abraham, she always begins her talks by asking if you are enjoying the contrast, because it is the shadow energy that creates contrast that teaches you potential, something that helps you to understand what you don't want so that you can reach for something better. Once you start to find all of these parts of yourself that are not easy to love, you can start to accept, surrender, and ask for what is more in alignment with what you want. Now you can put away your lab coats. To further this discussion, where we as humans with our little egos, we get into trouble with this shadow energy is because we blame the energy for all the wars and all the horrible things that have happened to humanity. This is where religions have failed us, at least in my belief. I'm not putting down religions, but I feel there is a failure here because they treated us like these weak children who are powerless against the shadow energy. They created beliefs that the energies can possess you, and so you are not to blame or be made responsible for your actions. The devil made me do it, right? It is how one shifts between the perpetrator and the victim, or the perpetrator to the victim. Why do you think pedophilia became such a problem in the church atmosphere? It is directly related to this belief, in my opinion, that that they had created this belief that there are dark, unseen forces outside of you controlling you. And this is why they didn't do anything about it until they had to. This created much powerlessness and this victim mentality about how our mind works. Because that is how dark force energy works. It creates negative thought forms, which create some sort of fear that you may interpret as your own. Keanu Reeves played an exorcist in the movie Constantine, and this was in the year 2005. There was a clip of that movie that stuck with me where he says, "What if I told you that God and the devil made a wager for the souls of all mankind? No direct contact with humans would be the rule, just influence to see who would win." That is why it is critical to be the observer of your mind. The shadow energy can only attach to you when you are vulnerable. It can come through trauma, taking drugs, getting intoxicated. That's why they call alcohol spirits, because it can make people act super crazy. They enter through the holes in your auric field, which we all incarnate with, and it is important to not be afraid of them. A beautiful message I got from Cash Peters is when you are afraid of the dark, it is the darkness that is projecting the fear onto you. You are the light, and the dark cannot survive in the light. All darkness is the absence of light. So, if you are struggling with negative thoughts, feelings, low energy, general confusion, or any type of compulsive behavior, it may be some sort of shadow energy that got in and is trying to influence you. And yes, there are several things you can do to take your power back. And the first is why it is so important to set up some type of a daily spiritual practice where you meditate. Meditation raises your vibration so that these shadow energies cannot attach to you because you won't be a vibrational match. Meditation also helps you to identify what is going on in your mind. This is where you need to pay the most attention. You can also do clearings and incantations. These are a way to assert your power, which we all have in maintaining our stability and structure of our subtle bodies. The violet flame incantation is a great one to do along with making one up for yourself because it is just the intention behind the prayer or incantation that is effective. Fasting is another way to clear out old energies, and this doesn't have to mean a week-long fast. Even an 18 or 24-hour fast can be very beneficial because low vibrational food can lower your vibration, of course. If you are struggling, then you might ask help from a spiritual healer, someone who can create a safe space for you to clear out any stubborn shadow patterns that are blocking you from moving forward. But look for one who is empowering because you are actually the one doing the healing. They're just helping you create the space. And finally, for any shadow energy, there is an opposite angel energy just waiting to be called upon. So please ask your angel and guides for help and assistance. They are always on standby waiting to help, but they need your permission first. And that's all the messages I received on angel and demons. Thank you for being here. And remember how powerful you are and how important you are. I love you, and I will see you in the next video.